will be reiterating our opposition to the current backstop, and the fact that Parliament has now backed that position means that she has a clear mandate to go back to Brussels.
So how do you see the way ahead? Does the backstop have to be removed in its entirety, or could a legally binding assurance about its temporary nature, could that work? The idea that there'd be something in legal terms that would mean that the UK could leave?
Well, I think it's for the Prime Minister, obviously, to negotiate in relation to these matters. I'm not certainly going to get caught up in the semantics of all of that this morning. I think Brussels have been asking for a clear ask from the United Kingdom government. They now have that clear ask. They have known all along that the backstop causes great difficulties, particularly for those of us who are unionists in Northern Ireland.
As you've spelled out, but that's really interesting to me, the fact that you're saying that it wouldn't have to be removed in its entirety, that it could be a legally binding assurance, because this was something that was brought up by the EU's top civil servant, Martin Selmayr, yesterday with MPs on the Brexit committee.
I think what I've said is the fact that the Prime Minister has to regard what Parliament has given her a mandate for. And Parliament's mandate is to replace the backstop. The current backstop, as I've said all along, is toxic to those of us living in Northern Ireland, and indeed for unionists right across the United Kingdom, because it would cause the breakup of the United Kingdom into the medium and longer term. And I think that's something that people are very concerned about, and rightly so.
There are fears which have been expressed in the European Union, which is that if concessions are made on this, then people who support Brexit and people like the DUP will come back asking for more, and enough will never be enough.
Well, I don't know where they get that from. We've been very clear on all occasions that if the withdrawal agreement, if the backstop is dealt with in the withdrawal agreement, then despite the fact that we may have misgivings around other parts of the withdrawal agreement, we will support the Prime Minister, because we do want Brexit to happen in an orderly and sustained fashion. We have said on many occasions that we do not want to see a hard border in Northern Ireland, but likewise we don't want to see a hard border between Northern Ireland and Great Britain either. There's no point in trading hard borders, because at present the backstop very much puts a hard border between Northern Ireland and Great Britain.
So what are the possibilities for movement here? Are you prepared to talk to the government in Dublin?
Yes, of course, and we're in the process of setting up conversations with our neighbours in the Republic of Ireland. We recognise that a no-deal Brexit would be very difficult for the Republic of Ireland, and we do not want to see that happening. We want to see a deal that works for the whole of the United Kingdom and one that works for the European Union as well.
You'll know the view in Dublin, and that is that the point of the backstop as an insurance policy is that it can't be temporary, otherwise it isn't an insurance.
Well, I've listened very carefully to the words of both Leo Varadkar and Simon Coveney over this past period of time, and I was interested to hear Simon Coveney say in the Irish Parliament recently that regardless of what happens, we will all have to work together to ensure that we avoid a hard border on the island of Ireland, and I welcome that. I think that is the right way to move forward. Nobody wants to see a hard border on the island of Ireland, but as I say, it cannot be at the expense of a hard border internally in the United Kingdom.